You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Pleasure now to be joined by Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lea here from the Bear Bryant Awards. Man, what an incredible season you guys had, and while maybe it didn't end the way you wanted to look back and reflect, I think you kind of have to take time to reflect on what a special season it was for you and all the kids.
You know, it was, and I think you're kind of constantly kind of reflecting week in, week out, and just appreciating, you know, the way the team was balled in and aligned. We had a lot of fun this year, and like you said, it didn't end the way we wanted, but I think there's a lot that we're going to reflect back on and appreciate. The way the calendar is right now, I haven't had that chance yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nonstop, but certainly a lot for us to build on, and that's become the focus as we've welcomed our new team onto campus.
Top 40 in recruiting, top 40 in transfer portal. I got to think the success you have, I mean, does that make it a little bit easier with these conversations with kids that, hey, we're building something here?
We have proof of concept now. You know, we were laughing. I mean, look, we've done this roster, you know, creation off of 2 intense seasons. So certainly having 10 wins shows the fruits of the labor. It actually puts a tangible example of the vision. And yet there's still hurdles we have to clear. We're still working on facility at our place. We're still, you know, building out the sustained success. So our place is about the people. That's what makes us special, and it means that we have to be really conscientious of who we're selecting in and how we're developing and retaining the people we have.
July 2022, you're at the podium at SEC Media Days, and you say the quote, "We want Vanderbilt to be the best program in the country." And I think, you know, a few people chuckle and a few people go, "Coach, how about let's win a bowl game first?" I think that was kind of the mentality, but you knew we got to lay this foundation to get there, and now people look back and that quote's not crazy at all. What you just did.
Yeah, you know, too many people whisper their beliefs. You know, I don't know that's, you're not going to get anywhere if that's the way, the approach you take at Vanderbilt. Like, you know, we've sat in the corner and kind of stayed quiet long enough. I want to make sure that people understand how big we think this can be, and, you know, we're part of the way there. We've got a really challenging, you know, build ahead of us to take what we've done and the success we've done, and yet we got to reimagine what it's going to look like. That means success isn't always linear, but certainly we feel like we're on our way, and, you know, this is the kind of season that we needed to have to add some validity to those statements in 22.
Being at an alma mater, I think, always means a little something extra, a little something special. And, I mean, look, your name got bandied about for a lot of big jobs out there, but I kept saying, man, with what he's built, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. You know, it was that kind of part of it when you look at it and go, yes, we've had great success, but man, we are building something here. We're not about to pull the ripcord now.
I did not want to leave my team, and the roots that we've put in place, you can't just pick those up and put them elsewhere. I think there's something really unique about what we've done at Vanderbilt, and so yes, I felt all that, and yet I wanted to make sure that we had alignment from top down on what the vision for success was moving forward, and we've got to keep, you know, reshaping an attitude around our program that is aggressive and that's assertive and that allows for the success that we desire to have. We want to win a national championship. We're part of the way there. I think we still got work to do, but so much of that process for me was about ensuring that alignment and knowing that, again, all the work and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the roots we put, you can't just pick those up and put them somewhere else. So, you know, my goal was always to stay with the team that we've spent a lot of time creating.
When I look at what you did through recruiting and through the portal, it looked like defensive line was a priority. You added the big edge from Iowa and a lot of pieces there. Did you look at that and say that's maybe a piece where we need to improve for 2026?
We do. We have to improve on the edge. We're going to lose Corday Sidnor, who's been so meaningful to our program, and, you know, we have to be able to shorten it down. I don't think that pressure can always be created with 5 or 6 rushers. So. And also, you know, even 4-man games, I think there's times where in first, second down, you need to be able to sack the quarterback, winning one-on-ones. And so we were paying attention to that. And in our league, the game is won and lost at the line of scrimmage. So to make sure we're strong in the offensive line, to make sure we're strong and deep in the defensive line, those are cornerstones for us to have a team that can be successful.
I saw a few days ago the announcement that both your running backs, Cedric and MK, both coming back. I mean, both those guys, I've loved, especially Cedric. I mean, he's gotten better each year. He's been there. Obviously, I mean, goes without saying, big to get both those guys back, but continue to build and grow what they're doing in the backfield.
Yeah, they will be a big part of us, growing up a new quarterback. And so, we feel really good about not just, their ability carrying the ball. They're physical blockers. They're smart. They can help get us in protections. And ultimately, we're going to lean on them both in carrying the football, but also in all that experience and wisdom they bring in the backfield as well.
Obviously, you've got all off season to go through practices and figure out a depth chart and all that. But getting a guy like Jared who's so highly heralded and all that, but for him to get in early and at least get a couple of those bowl practices in had to be extremely helpful to at least get his feet wet and how you guys operate.
Yeah, it was great, and we have big vision for Jared, and yet he knows he's going to have to compete and earn the job. And there's a room full of guys, starting with Blaze Berlowitz, who are ready for that competition too. It generally produces the best result when you have guys go at it and the cream rises and the best guy takes a snap. This was true of Diego too, believe it or not. When he transferred into the program, he competed and won the job, and the rest is history. So, but getting Jared in early, having him with bowl practice was huge. You can see the talent and the potential is all there. We need to give him time to grow in the system, and this will be a really great winter and spring for that.
Last thing, I look at the NFL draft and the quarterbacks, and it's not like the deepest quarterback group, I would say. And so I look at it and say, man, Javi's got a great opportunity here to go impress and show what he can do at the combine and these other places. And he improved so much as a passer to me this year. That arm got better and better. So when you look at him, you got to say, man, the sky's the limit. Somebody just needs to give him a chance.
I think that he's going to make a team, and I think he's going to have a long career. He's got too many tools. Again, his best feature is his charisma, the way he connects in the locker room. That translates to every level. At every level, a quarterback who's connected and a great teammate is going to help win. I think the physical developments that he made from 24 to 25, I thought his arm talent was on display this fall, and he's also very smart as a player too. So he knows where he's going with the ball. Those are the things that win you games, especially in the NFL, where you don't have a lot of time to make decisions. He can see it before it happens. He knows how to get the ball in the tight spaces, and then when the game's on the line, that's the guy you want taking the snaps. All those things I think will translate for him, and I'm just so excited for him in the next step of his career.
Coach Clark Lea, thanks so much for the time, man. Congrats on all the success, and I know you're just getting started. I mean, this thing is just getting started at Vanderbilt. I think we're all excited to see the sky's the limit, especially Indiana winning the national championship. Real quick on that, does that kind of invigorate you a little bit?
I've got a ton of respect for Coach and for that program, and certainly they've shown that it doesn't take 10 years. You can do it quickly if you're smart, and I think you build the roster the right way, and then there's still an element as the talent spreads out, and the margins are thin. I think it's about coaching well, and so they've done that. Obviously, they've done it now to the highest possible level, and congrats to Coach Signetti and that program.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Great being with you.
All right, we'll be back right after this.